Hey, hey, how is everyone today? Very good to see you. Welcome in another live of true crime. Hey, Raymond, can you hear me? Already at 60 hours for the week, huh? I just want to make sure you all can hear me. Give me a 1 if you can hear me, please. Let me know. Do you hear me? Today is the Today is the 11th day of July. You can hear me. Wonderful. So good to see you all. Sorry, I've been out of touch the last couple of days, just kind of dropping you little comments of phone numbers to call and stuff, because that's what I've been doing too. Raymond, I want to thank you for becoming a new member. You just must have renewed. Thank you for always supporting the channel. You're amazing. One of our longtime supporters. And someone, could you drop the link to Nicey Marie's channel, please? She's doing some good work over there. And just want that in there. Hey, Dancing Queen, Stacy, Doodle Mom. I'm going to be getting right into the show after I do my welcomes. Hi, Mark, Robin. I am coming back on shortly after this. Give me about an hour and a half. And then we're going to be discussing summer wells. They indeed are searching for summer. So TBI wasn't just fooling around. They're out there searching for summer. And that is on the tail of At Night One World demanding, requesting federal FBI running a parallel investigation for Summer and Sebastian's case. Well, they took action for Summer. They are out there searching, and we're going to go live. I'm going to go live after this one on Summer. Hi, Maria. Hello, Joanne. Hello, everyone. Teresa, welcome in. And I have titled this Poof Go the Tips. And the reason I'm saying that is I've had a lot of you sending me tips this past week, and that you have said you sent in before and stuff. So, and you've never heard back. And that's concerning to me. Now, have they followed up on them? I can't tell you they have. I can't tell you they haven't. What I can tell you is they never contacted our Oregon eyewitness. I can tell you that Seth Rogers, the Bristol, Virginia sighting tip went to Sumner County, and Seth Rogers drove all the way from Tennessee to Virginia. And by the time he got there, Sumner County had never made any contact. Okay. I can tell you what happened with the ransom. They didn't say anything for days. And then when it said we need to hear something from you, it wasn't from me, it was from someone else. And then they said the FBI is investigating, consider this acknowledged, but that took days. Okay. At 2 to 3 days. And then lots going on there, right? So not that expeditious, get into action behavior. And it really concerned me as to why aren't we getting that? Hey, if you're here, hey, Find Summer's Truth, I am going live for Summer later on. As soon as we're done with this one, give me about 30 minutes to rest my voice, get a thumbnail up. It'll be about an hour and a half hour after this one ends. They are searching for Summer. So I am concerned about the tips, but I'm coming to you today. I want to ask you these questions. Why is this? Why do you think this is allowed? I know your answers. Use in my opinion, please. And why, if someone was not doing their duty? Hey, Detective Whistakers. Excuse me. If someone wasn't doing their duties and even responding to something so serious happening in such a high-profile case about a child's life, why do you think they would have the confidence to go fight for that raise to be reinstated this year? That speaks volumes, in my opinion. This runs very deep, my friends, in my opinion. Very, very, very deep. Because when you look at that, we've listened to other sheriffs. Sheriff Morrison looking for the Decker's dad. What does he say to the public? We're doing our due diligence. We're doing everything the family expects of us and what our community deserves. They know who they work for. They know who they serve. What I'm so concerned about is the confidence to ignore a federal trafficking, kidnapping claim and ransom demand, but yet have the confidence to go stand up, still hadn't acknowledged any of it, but had the confidence to go stand up in front of all the commissioners or the budget committee and ask for a raise. It speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. Some of you think, here's a theory, because this is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as fact, but we are speculating based on some appalling lack of action and response going on in the Sebastian Wainwright Rogers case, because every child deserves attention. Every missing child deserves attention. And if you are wearing a badge and you are working a case, you are expected to do what you should do. And if something's going on in a community where they foster and you have the confidence to not do your job but show up and ask for raises, something's up. Something is up. Because I know I wouldn't have that confidence, would you? No matter where you worked in your life, if you weren't doing your job and it was in the midst of a controversy, right at that second, would you go ask your boss for a raise? Some of you have a theory. Some of you think that that something's going on in the community of Sumner, allegedly. And you think that him going up to the budget committee after they took away their raise for this year, they're going to reinstate it, but it's not just going to the sheriff's department anymore. It's over almost $250,000 that was going to the senior staff in the sheriff's department for their raises. Now, obviously Craddock is senior staff, okay, and EMA, but those step raises were going to no one else in the community or in the county that worked. So what they did is they pulled Craddock's senior raises for the year of 2025, and they are planning on reinstating them eventually, but it won't, all that 250 is not going to the sheriff's office anymore. It will be going to fair equality across all the different divisions of Sumner County. Well, Eric Craddock called a special meeting in the midst of his silence when we were all envisioning Sebastian Rogers in a hotel in Cancun, possibly gagged, possibly going through who knows what, and no response from Mr. Craddock. He went and said, we deserve a raise because that's what brings qualified people in. I will choose to refrain from commenting on the qualified people. Because in my opinion, when you're qualified, you answer a life or death tip if you're wearing a damn badge. Okay, so poof. Do we know for sure they have gone poof? No. What we know is, for instance, no response to the ransom one, other than the FBI's investigating. They haven't gotten out in front of it. They haven't commented to the public. They haven't said anything about what they've found out about it, that they're in action. I do know that the Oregon witness tip that went to them was never followed through. The Bristol, Virginia tip was never followed through. So if they're not followed through, they may as well have gone poof, right, SI? You know what I mean? Because if you're sending something in and they don't have to call you and say thank you, but they do need to follow up on every lead and tip that comes. And if they're not, that is not proper conduct for a sheriff's office or any agency, police agency who has tips coming in. Okay. So sadly, if they're not being followed, they end there, right? For those of you who are unaware, we have Craddock up on our thumbnail, but I wanted to show you who Brandon Carter was. That is Brandon Carter on the thumbnail as well. He is the lead detective. So if they're not calling Bristol when there's a sighting that motivates a father to jump in the car, right? They're not jumping in action, speaking to the public, responding to the source who had the tip for ransom, trying to track down the guy saying he had Sebastian, any of it. What does that mean? But yet call a special budget meeting and say we need our raises to do a good job and for all these qualified people who want to come in. That's what entices them. Okay. Oh, he is bald now? Welcome in, everyone. It is so good to see you. So one thing I do want to tell you is I received a comment that said, I did turn this in, when it happened. But now I'm submitting it again because I just don't know. Because why? There was no communication. Nothing saying tip received, which they don't have to do, but it does let people know as the father. Like he said, he gives them tips that come to them, and he would like some communication. Are they following it, or should he? And it's the same thing when people are submitting tips. They're worried because now this is a tip back from October, and it's a serious one. This person leaves a comment saying, I reported this back, a while ago to the tip lines, but obviously they feel they need to report it now after hearing things have been not responded to. She said, I am pretty sure that I'm almost certain, or whatever she said, that I saw Sebastian Rogers in October. He was at the Spokane International Washington Airport traveling with a woman. Now listen to how specific this is. Traveling with a woman, and he arrived on an 11 a.m. flight. Thank you, Raymond. I saw that. I am getting to you, my buddy. And I so appreciate it every time. Thank you so much, Raymond. So this person, think of how specific that was. A time in October. So I responded, what day in October were you flying? Okay, 11 a.m. flight. Now, I, who am not an investigator, went on Spokane, Washington, and asked what flights regularly land in Spokane, Washington around 11 a.m. The answer is from Seattle. I thought, oh, boom, that fits. I'll show you why in a second. And then I read further, they're all coming from Alaska Air and Alaska Airlines. So they either came from Alaska, landing in Seattle, So very interesting. But imagine now a trained investigator, and she doesn't know if that was followed through. All it does take is call the airlines, find out, who was on, contact this person, what flight. If you can't get a hold of the person, check every flight in October for 11 a.m. There's only 30 days. Check the cameras, do whatever you can do. But those are the things that I'm worried about. Hey, Gypsy girl. Hey, everyone coming in. Hey, Gypsy. Okay, everyone coming in. Welcome in. Hey, Jen. Fun to ski. Hello. Yes, Alaska Airlines Fun to Ski. So Fun to Ski, for that tip, they landed in Spokane. And that was in October, but it kind of fits with some things, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, what if I'm hoping they check that, but since she's just giving it to me now, I submitted it over to at night. And I also called it, I believe I called that one into 1-800 The Lost also. I've been calling those in. So I've got a bunch I've called in there. And I thought, well, I'm going to look up in the airlines. What comes in at 11? They're all from Seattle. There's 3 of them. So I sent that in as well with the flight numbers. And then I looked at it, and they all say from flying for Alaska Air and things like that. Okay. So that's a serious tip, in my opinion. Could it have been Sebastian? Yes. Could it have not been Sebastian? Yes. But we can't ever find Sebastian if all tips and leads are not jumped on. And if you want my honest opinion, that's why we haven't found Sebastian. Okay? Because there's something odd, and we're going to talk about it in a second, but I want to thank our dear friend Raymond for growing the reunions and for his support. Thank you for the 5 Crime Time Buzz memberships. Buzz, gang, right? We are meeting family reunions Saturday, which is tomorrow. Lots to talk about tomorrow. I am going to tell you some things that I wanted to talk about. I have some things I want to tell you about. Yes. Hi, Canadian True Crime. Hey, Kiki. Kiki, did this person take a photo of Sebastian? Not that they mentioned. What I asked this person was, can you give us a description of the woman? Was Sebastian on your flight? Where were you coming from? What date were you flying? So I've asked, and I haven't gotten a response yet. How do you become a member? Hold on, I'll put it right in here. Excuse me. So it does fit though, and I want to share this with you because, hold on. Can one of my mods, by chance, if you'd be so kind, to save this when I put this up here? That way you all have it. This is the easiest way for people to join. Right there. Especially if they're on iPhones. Thank you, guys. So that's an important tip, and we're going to go on and we're going to talk about why. First of all, y'all, I still have my sore throat, so please forgive me. I'm going to mute for 1 second and take a drink of water. Okay. If you are just coming on in, Kiki, I know. Here's the thing. I totally get it. My other thing is I appreciate everyone so vigilant like Kiki does, putting your eyes on, right? If we could pick up the phone when we're at an airport and we think we see Sebastian, or we're at a bus station or wherever we might be. Hi, Caroline. Wherever we may be. I'm Caroline. I'm glad you're in here. Will you stick around for a little bit? Because I'm about to ask a question. And I've been thinking about you, and there's some things I'm looking at here. Please call 911 from the location you see Sebastian. Don't leave the location, please. Pick up your phone, dial 911. That will dispatch them there. They can lock it down. They can look around. They can check the cameras. That is our best chance if it is truly Sebastian. Then take your photos. Then call the tip line. But please dial 911 immediately from where you are. Report where you think you see them and get them out there immediately. Take your photos too. So, hey, okay. Happy birthday, Gypsy. Oh, here's your gifts. So what I'm thinking is, and I want to talk to y'all, and I'm so glad you're in here, Caroline, because the tips we've received so far, right? They're not proof of death. The sightings, the tips that I've been sent are not proof of D. They're proof of life. Okay? They are proof of life. So don't give up hope. Now, could it be a recovery? Absolutely. It could be. But the tips that I receive are of Sebastian, it almost like he's being moved around the country. Okay? And out of the country. Now, thank you, Lady for Justice. Thank you so much. Appreciate the super sticker. Very kind of you. Very generous. So I asked Brandon Carter yesterday if he would like to give me a statement based on the ransom tip and kind of silence and lack of action, or silence for a couple of days. I asked him if he wanted to give me a tip or a statement, and he responded. He did respond. So I'm giving you Brandon Carter's statement regarding the ransom. The FBI is investigating it. Okay? Now, that's all I got, but that was something. What I will tell you is, as you can tell from at night's tips, they're still looking in Mexico. Many tips, several have led to Mexico. Also, they're obviously looking for the ransom person because that person will be held accountable, right? That person could know something, got scared and ran. We don't know. And we always have to treat everything with integrity like it's Sebastian or any child's life, right? So I am telling you the FBI is investigating it, which we had heard before. That was his last statement too, also. But the FBI is investigating it. Are they going to step down and let the FBI take over? Now, in light of the fact that they're not really seeming to want to give press conferences, Craddock told the father he will not give any more. I don't understand why they don't want to give it to an agency who wants to do press releases. Also, following up on every lead, whether it takes you to Bristol, Virginia, whether it takes you to Chesapeake, Virginia, whether it takes you to North Carolina, Oregon. You go, you do, you call, you do something. So if they're not doing that, why aren't they giving it up above? And why does he have the confidence in the midst of all of this going on and his public has never heard from him about the ransom? None of it. Trafficking, none of it. They don't know if there's a tier in their area. They know nothing. But yet he had the confidence to stand tall and ask for a raise for just the senior staff of Sumner County, he being one of them. I just find it really odd. But the tips I receive are proof of life. Now, do I receive images from the flashlights that we've all been looking at too? Absolutely. Did we all look at the one of that looks like two people carrying Sebastian out? It looks like it, right? Absolutely. Oops, sorry, y'all. Hold on one second. This is Oregon. 1 second. Sorry, y'all. Where was I? I'm sorry, I forgot where I was. But the tips. So I don't understand that confidence. Like I brought up to you all, if you were silent during a life or death situation or an emergency at your work or wherever you work, I don't care if you work at 7-Eleven or the Pentagon, right? If you were not engaged and doing what you're taught and trained to do during an emergency, would you have the confidence during that entire scenario? You've never reacted to it. You've never responded. You pretended like it didn't exist and you're the boss of the office, or would you go to your boss and ask for a raise? Would you have that confidence? Would you think you would be rewarded for that? That's why the theory is from some of you. Thank you so much, Lori Speckman. I truly appreciate you all. I do. I really appreciate your generosity. One of your all's theories, and it came up a few times the other day, is that allegedly you think he may have went before them during that silence, because it was appalling, to say to them, you better give me that raise or I may be speaking up a little bit. I don't know. That was your theories. I'm bringing them out loud. Okay? Yes. But we have to, thank you, Teresa. The two people carrying Sebastian out, right? Okay, we've seen images. Some of you are brilliant with the flashlight images and all of that, the audio, everything, right? But one thing I want to point out is there is nothing in that image that shows he's no longer with us, if that's true in him. He could have been medicated. There's two audios going around. Mine did not say watch his head. Mine said go back to the house. I'm not supposed to be here. I know that I'll talk to the prosecutor. We'll take the back roads, take care of the SIM card, they'll clean up the flashlight. That was the audio that someone had given me. Cleaned it up, gave it to someone who listened to it. Okay? That's not proof of death. That is the one Brandon Carter asked for. He reached out to me and asked for that audio long ago. Okay? So I just want you to know that, Carrie, I know some of the images in there and some things that are being looked at. It could be proof of death. I'm not saying, but he could have been medicated. He could have. I tend to say I stray away from my friends saying injured in the home. And here is why. From what I have heard, the house, and maybe they had time to just scrub it stellar, but from what I have heard, that house did not look like anything took place there. Okay? From what I have heard. I've also heard, though, all family homes were not searched. And you've all heard that. You've told me that. Why wouldn't every family home be searched? I'm so confused about certain things. I know some of you have told family members that are in law enforcement about the ransom not being addressed or even anything. And I know your family members are appalled. They're shocked. Who are in law enforcement. I agree. I'm not in law enforcement, but I know as someone, if there's someone called, well, it happened to me and I'm not law enforcement, it was sent to me after she reported it to at night because she wanted me to give it to Seth, make sure Seth got it. Now, was I just going to ignore that? Of course not. That's what bothers me. It's integrity, right? Something's running deep there. I'm going to tell you. Proof of life and proof of death. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Fun to Ski. Yes, I'm sorry. So his statement is the FBI is investigating it. We're not hearing anything about stepping down. We're not hearing anything about bringing the marshals in. Nothing about bringing in the marshals. Okay. Caroline, this is what I'm going to ask. This is where kind of I want you to hear me out for a second and kind of when I ask the question. So we had a sighting in Sutherland, Oregon at the pond, Ford's Pond. We're starting, I have put something together that shows something that occurred as why they met up. And of course, I'll say allegedly in my opinion, but I have pictures to show you. And I will be doing that. That's why Oregon just called me. Okay? Because she's going to come on with me when I tell you guys. So it might be tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear from her. But so Sutherland, let me go where I can point to you what I'm talking about. Here's Sutherland. Okay? I will tell you. There's connections in Oregon. Okay? Now, what I am going to say is I am not accusing anyone. But after 17 months and no one's been cleared, certainly when there's areas of sightings, we're going to look to see if anyone in any of the relations lives there. Okay? You know my theories. You know what I think is suspicious. You know the behaviors that I can't get past. But could we be wrong? Yes. Do I think we are? No. I think we're on the right side of where we're going with this. But I do. And it's odd to me where there's sightings, there's relatives, which Caroline brings me to you. Caroline, do you feel comfortable just putting in the chat what city it was? If so, go ahead and drop it. I know you've told me before, but guys, remember, I do get a lot, hear a lot of stuff. So here's what I want to say. There's relatives in Oregon. There's agricultural ranches, one of which is called Proudfoot Ranch. Have I tracked it down yet that they're related? No. But they have 17 trucks that travel around. We've heard, what have we heard? Labor teeing, right? There you go, Carolyn. Thank you. It's going to all fit, isn't it? Labor teeing, when you got ranches and cattle and farmland, and it also says something like outdoor experiences. Those things concern me. Have I figured out they're related yet? No. Have I sent it in? Absolutely. Absolutely, I have. Okay. So those are the things we look for, right? But there are relatives in there for sure. I'm just bringing up something like when we see an area where there's a sighting, we've just been kind of poking around a little bit, right? Well, Seattle. Now let's just talk about Seattle. The reason Seattle hits twice is because the people at Ford's Pond who were with CP and KP, and I'm going to say allegedly, but she filed a police report. She's on it. She's not making it up. They said they were from Seattle. Okay. I know exactly where Whidbey Island is. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize that's where it was. Yeah. I do know where Whidbey Island is. I actually know of people who live on there. Okay. So it is fitting, right? So here we go. So then they say they're from Seattle. They're in Sutherland, say they're from Seattle. There's relatives in this area, allegedly, in my opinion. Do your research. Some of you already are. Okay. Then they land in Spokane, Washington, allegedly, if it was Sebastian, right? They land in Spokane. Where do those flights come from? Seattle. Again, Forward Pond people live in Seattle. Okay. Lots of flights coming from Seattle to Spokane, coming from where? Alaska. Now, what have we heard about Alaska? A trip to Alaska that was a business trip that couldn't be canceled because it was planned before the disappearance, so they went anyway. Who's they? Who's they? Mama socks and Papa socks. The step socks, right? Okay, now let's bring in what Caroline was saying. Caroline, I swear I thought you were going to tell me out east, so what you just told me fits even more. Great. Yes, it's fitting. Right, Doodle? Okay, so Freeland, Washington. I'm going to Google this so I can put it right into our map for us. And I know many of you will already be Googling what the name's in there, right? I'm just trying to get more of a specific location. Well, we're just going to go Whidbey Island. So I'm just going to do this. Let me go here. It's going to be up here a little bit, right? Right, Caroline, it's up above Seattle. So let's go to our show here. Let's do, oops, sorry, y'all. Okay, so we had a possible landing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all right here. I'm going to give you this color right here was a possible, oops, dang, sorry. Come on, dude. Okay, this was a possible sighting. Okay, this was a sighting of parents. Okay, this is where a relative said they were. And now let me go see if I can get on here and see if I had the picture a little larger. And see if any of this shows Whidbey Island up here, right? Isn't it up here? Hold on. I'm going to come back and rely on Carolyn for this. Carolyn, is it? Carolyn, it's above, right? September of the year he went missing. Okay. So September of 2024. So let's look at that. I'm just trying to find on the map. Hi, closer to you. We're messing around with sightings and relatives. Where was Mama Sock seen in December? Where was Mama Sock seen in September or December? Hold on, let me. Okay, so that's up here. I'm just trying to get my bearings. There's Arlington, Washington, where Jonathan Hong is missing. And Whidbey's down here. Okay, I'm just trying to get my bearings so I can put it on the map. Yeah, I want to know where Mama Socks was seen. Oh, okay. East Harbor Road in Freeland, Jay. Thank you for the details. And is that when you saw him in a wheelbarrow? Oh, excuse me. In a wheelbarrow, my friend? To fly state to state as a child, you need a birth certificate, and you can buy those online. You can buy fake birth certificates online, fake passports, you name it. So, where was Mama's? Caroline, are you saying where was Mama Sock seen? Oh my gosh. And the image on the KP's tattoo matches our location at Holmes Harbor. Where's Holmes Harbor? Please hit the thumbs up. We are doing a little brainstorming. If you are in the bushes, thank you so much. We're brainstorming on some information right now. Cross the Sounds from Seattle, a little north. Thank you. Oh, she was seen on East Harbor Road too. Oh my gosh. In September, Caroline? In September. I don't know how Seth holds it together either. He is a man of strength, because you've heard me get upset and frustrated in the past week or two. And I admire, I know he's hurting the deepest crevices of his soul, but he conducts himself in a way that I just admire. I do. And for those people who are out there going, where's Seth? Why is he so quiet? What do you want? What can he say right now? Right? What can he say right now? I feel so badly for him. Okay, so Caroline, she was driving in a vehicle very similar to the type she drives. And Caroline, was that also in September? Oh, this is really fits right in, doesn't it, you all? Doesn't it, doesn't it, doesn't it? Okay, so in September. So let's put it on here. Let's go back. See, this is how sometimes our members' lives go too, where we start getting stuff as we're going, right? Okay, so Whidbey's here. You got even the road. Now, Caroline, I'm assuming you were spoken to about this lead, right? First week of December. Okay, so he was seen there in September, and then she was seen there in December. Am I getting that right, Caroline? First week of December, which makes sense. When was that? There was a time. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's running deep, my friends. She asked for a huge diamond. I'm just waiting. We're putting that puzzle together, friends. Okay, so September, Sebastian was there, cited. December, Mama Socks was. Let's get in here. Let's look at this. I'm going to stop this for a second, and I'm going to bring up our show here. Share this one with you instead. So look at the coast, right? Look at where it's almost like they're moving around there. Remember how they say he's been being, possibly being moved? Okay, so let's just say up here, for the sake of, we're just going to make I don't know what I want to call it. What did you call it? I'm sorry, you all. I hadn't had the actual area of this, because Caroline's been trying to get in touch with me and talk about it, but I just haven't. 2 adults on foot. The female was wheeling a covered 15-year-old, was wheeling a covered 15-year-old covered in a blanket. So I don't know if it was a jerry chair or a wheelchair. Okay, that's right. Someone by accident told me wheelbarrow. That's right. Okay, I remember that now. Now, there was someone who thought they saw him in New York in a wheelchair too. So is that how he's being moved? They said they submitted that tip that he was December for Mama Socks. Wow. That's just crazy. Okay, let's get that out here then. Let's put it up here.
So if we've got right here, we're just going to put it up here because I didn't expect to get that on the map today. I'm sorry. I'm excited about this, you all. You are amazing. Let's change the color to red, put it here, and we're going to go like this. We're just going to go like this, okay? And we know that that was a sighting, but there were two. So there was in September. Sorry, guys, this is weird to write with. And October, or December, excuse me. No, let me undo that. Hold on. So he was seen in September and December, up in this way, allegedly. And I'll make this all nice for our next show just so we have our work with us, okay? We're just working right now, and I'll make it nicer later for us. And that's here. This is October. This was March of 24. This was of 24. This was of 24. So there is movement. Look at this. March, they're down here. A couple of weeks after the, allegedly, in our opinions, they're down here, but I 100 believe her. She wouldn't be filing police reports. She has law enforcement in her family. She's not going to mess around like that. You can buy high school degrees online. Absolutely. You can buy fake college degrees, diplomas. Yes. You can buy fake paternity tests. Okay. So we have, look at these sightings. So March. Why would you come all the way across the country a couple of weeks, few weeks after your child went missing? Was that a planned trip? That's the only way I would accept it, and I still wouldn't. Because if you report allegedly your child's a runaway, you're going to stay home and expect them to come home within that first few weeks. I would. Let me just say I would. Okay? But across the whole country, was Seth notified? We're taking a trip, and we're going to take Sebastian with us across the country to Oregon. So you're going to miss a couple weekends or a weekend there. Or can you take on some extra time? We're going, but we're going to leave Sebastian with you. If none of that was said, then this was an unplanned trip. And we've never heard that that was a planned trip. He's actually said he never went to Oregon. Okay? They never went to Oregon. And I have figured out, in my opinion, one of the reasons they were there. And you are all right, because many of you have been guessing it, and I'm going to wait for our Oregon friend. That's what she was calling about, to see if she can come on this week. First week of December. Okay. So look at all that movement, you all. Now, what I want to know is, Caroline, did you give that tip into Sumner County? Did they ever contact you? Because why aren't we chasing those leads? December 8th to December 12th. Now, Caroline, did you get a picture? Were you able to get a picture or call 911 or anything like that at the time? I knew you had. Yes, I remember you had told the at night people and Seth's team. I remember that. Okay. But were you able to get a picture? Yeah. Is he medicated, or are they telling him if you talk? I don't know. Oh my gosh. So I did not know if he was injured or had surgery or was handcuffed while being wheeled. Why did his hands look weird? Oh, because he was in the wheelchair. Gotcha. Hi, Whispering. Hello, everyone. We are talking about, Diana, we are talking about sightings and how they're all in this area, allegedly, where family is. And Caroline, were you able to verify if family lived up there on Whidbey in that area? Any family, any relation, anyone who might know him? Sebastian up there? So look at that area. And then also remember, as you land in Spokane, these are Alaskan Airlines that go there, and they come from Seattle. So Spokane, Seattle to Alaska, Alaska, Seattle to Spokane. 11 a.m. flight, traveling with a woman. I've asked the description. She has not gotten back. I have reported it. She has not gotten back. And I asked her what date she was flying so they could target that very easily, and what flight she was on, and if Sebastian was on her flight. So hopefully, my friends, we will hear back from that individual, but that's a lot of sightings. So he could not wave his hands. I said hello to all 3 persons. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. You just gave me chills. And are you, like, Caroline, was it, in your opinion, was it him? We have a lot of questions. Thank you for sharing. Okay, you used to have patience. There you go. It's like a teacher with students, right? You get really good at people faces. Wow, that's really Raymond, that has been a really weird statement. And that never came out until recently, right? In the last, I don't know, 6-8 weeks. CP said, "What's everyone going to do if Sebastian comes back at 18?" Now, I thought that was a really interesting statement, and it resonated because all along, you're never going to find him, all this stuff. Now, suddenly, when he comes back at 18, we have a statement allegedly from a source hearing TBI say to them where he is, he's not coming back from. So I really think, honestly, I think there's a lot of hope. Look at these sightings, you all, with a woman. Okay, who was he with on that one? Let me read what she said. I have to go back to this. Excuse me. Let me go back and see who he was with. There were 2 people with him. First week of December, 2 adults on foot. So there was a male and a female, and the female was wheeling a covered 15-year-old in a blanket. He looked 15 to you. Is that what you're saying? He looked about that age? Yes, Lisa K, thank you. Sebastian, if you ever see this, please know that you're so very loved. I pray, and we look, and we look, and we research, and we're talking about you, buddy. We're going to bring you home to your dad and your loved ones. Who has not? Okay. So anyway, I want to keep going. Hit the thumbs up if you would. Oh, okay. I gotcha. For some reason, why were they on foot just before dusk, before dark? Did they get off a local bus? Was there a local station right nearby, Caroline? I'll have to Google that. Well, everyone should start researching, see if you see family from any air side. Okay. So anyway, let's keep going. Hit the thumbs up if you will. A lot of great information. Hey, Sweetie, welcome to our family reunions and our family. We're all one big happy family here, but reunions are Saturday for members' lives, and that will be tomorrow. And we always have a good time. So welcome in, everyone. Welcome, Sweetie. And Gypsy, thank you so much. Gypsy says, I appreciate all your hard work. Match me. Oh, thank you, Gypsy. I appreciate you very, very much. Show Poodles. Know who else hides kids and moves them around? Yes, FLDS Church. Yes, Warren Jeffers. Warren Jeffers, I think his name is. Look into that church that they attend, in my opinion. Oh, Show Poodles, have you ever watched the show Escaping Polygamy? A lot of the people several of the people they get out are from FLDS. Hi, Beth. She said it made sense, the bus station. That does make sense. You believe 100% it was Sebastian. Were you able to get a photo? I know you spoke to him. You probably weren't able to get a photo. You followed up with TBI 15 weeks later to make sure the tip was 4 weeks later to make sure the tip was forwarded to them. And I told my mailman, the medical center here, be on the lookout. Are you in? Okay, I don't even want to say where you are. I don't want anyone to. Please hit the thumbs up. Someone just said something. Yeah, it could be. It could be, you all, very much so, that he was teed. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lady Justice. Thank you, Lori Speckman. Thank you, Gypsy. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate you very, very much. And I appreciate all my replay crew, everyone in the bushes, whoever you may be. Thank you for listening and caring about Sebastian. I'm going to hide the comment. And thank you again, Raymond. Be sure you thank Raymond if you receive his generous gift. He loves to grow our family, and I appreciate everything that he does for us. So all these sightings, notice he's with a woman here, seen a woman and a man here, woman and a man here with allegedly the P-foots. The woman and the man allegedly with the P-foots live up here. They also live in, well, we'll talk about that later. They live up here. Now what we have to do is their family up here in the Whidbey area, Whidbey Island area. Right? Interesting. Now, I do have to share something with you. Sumner County Sheriff's Office, when Brandon Carter responded to me with his statement that the FBI is investigating the ransom and trafficking tip, in tiny little letters, you can barely see it. It said there is a new, in order to submit tips, please submit them here. And it's a new tip line, not advertised, not in bold, nothing telling us that. I went to TBI flyers. It's not posted. And it is on the sheriff's webpage. So I'm going to share it with you, but I am going to ask Detective Carter, how often are they checking that? Because I don't know how often that's going to be checked. It's not before Brandon, when Detective Carter originally reached out to me, it was on his sheriff, Brandon Carter email. So we respond to him there because he wanted the audio, but now they want it over there. So my concern is if they're not responding when things are coming across their desk, what's going to be the response rate if they're going to the Tennessee website? So, but I do want to take you there. So if you're putting in your tips there, you will now see. I do not know who's manning it. I do not know. I cannot give you an answer about what do you do if there's an emergency other than call 911, keep calling 911, I don't know what else to tell you, but call other sheriff's offices around the area to get them to reach out to him. That's my best guess. I hesitate to tell you to put it in this site, but I'm going to show it to you because I don't know how long this is manned. So here's the sheriff's office. They have now added here, submit a tip. So you go here and you click. Now, the nice thing is you can type in here, okay? You can type in here and do things like that and drop images, and that's wonderful. However, this is the sheriff's office website, okay? I'm going to go home. And I don't know how often, I do not know how often they are there because I am going to show you something. They have a lot of things, but a lot of their stuff on here is, oops, sorry. Oh, there's their Office of Professional Responsibility. If you click, how are we doing? You can read all about their Office of Professional Accountability. Their mission, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, is dedicated to providing exceptional public service. Oh, you're not there with me. Okay, hold on, guys. Are you there with me? You don't see that one. Okay, hold on. There you go. You still don't have it. Weird. Hold on. Let me get to it. I want to share it with you. That's weird. But I will show you this. There's his email. That's what we've been using. Let's see. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. This is from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Okay. They tell everyone when they come in here to this page, what are they supposed to do for emergencies? Call 911. Sebastian, it was not called into 911. I think, in my opinion, so it wouldn't be reported. My opinion, hey, Whispering Winds. Okay, Gypsy, let's keep it going. Whispering Winds and Gypsy are matching each other. Keep it going. Thank you so much, Whispering. Appreciate you all. Hi, All I Need. How you doing? Good to see you. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it, my friend. I hadn't even set any goals or anything. Okay, so you were asked if your area had possible trafficking, and you replied, yes, highly. Okay, thank you for sharing this. You know, Laura, you're right. We appreciate your opinion. No proof he's alive, but more on the other way. And that's how Laura sees it. Now, I kind of see it the other way. And so I'm glad we share. We're allowed in this community to disagree. So I hope I'm wrong, but so much in statements that suggest otherwise, in my opinion. I agree. Let's not forget the comment that allegedly happened at lunch, that a YouTuber, they got into an argument, and one said she recorded it, the other one said she didn't hear it, back and forth. But apparently one of them's recorded KP saying she hadn't seen Sebastian's godmother since before Sebastian was murdered. What? Whoa, wait. I didn't even see that. Okay, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. He was wearing some sort of Google wear when I snapped a single pic of him on a second sighting. Are you talking about Sebastian? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. Okay, so you just took me to something. This is terrifying what you just said. I think we just made another connection. He was wearing some sort of goggle wear when I snapped a second pic of him. Who was wearing the goggle wear, Caroline? Was it Sebastian or allegedly SF? Because the reason I'm asking is, do you all recall neighbor Bobby saying someone was walking up the street with goggles on at night? Oh my, Gypsy, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Jen, don't you worry about it. You guys, we're here. We're okay. He had a blanket over him up to his chest. Oh my gosh, you're giving me the chills. You saw 2 sightings in the same area, Caroline? And the second one, when you got the picture, was the picture of SF or Sebastian? See how things are clicking? Now another person with goggles on. Hi, Mima. I'm sorry I always stumble over your name. Absolutely, Caroline. You know my number, right? I'm going to go, let's talk between my lives, okay? Once I end here, can you call me? Because I'm going to go live for summer shortly after that, but I'd love to talk to you. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I want to know who you got that picture of. Okay, so here's the next connection now. Let's go back. Before I go back, well, here, let me show you the tip line, but I do want to show you, now we have goggle connections, okay? Okay, so let's go here. Here's the how we are doing. Can you all see that? I don't know why you're not. Did I just kick myself out? No. I don't know why it's not changing for you all. Hold on, let me change it here and see why it's not. The screen's not moving with me. Okay, here's the Office of Professional Accountability. You click How Are We Doing on the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Tennessee, sumnersheriff.com, but that's really not what it is. Okay, whatever. And the Sumner County Sheriff's Office is dedicated to providing exceptional public service to the citizens of Sumner County. Our team is carefully selected and trained to deliver quality service to the community. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office is generally interested and recognized as employees who are committed to this goal. And additionally, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office focuses on continuous improvement when team members fail to meet desired standards or face accusations of wrongdoing. As a citizen, your participation is welcome and essential to ensure that outstanding employees are recognized and that employee misconduct does not go unreported. All compliments and complaints are reviewed by the Office of Professional Accountability. If you are a citizen in Sumner County, now it does say you have to have standing with the case, but here, that's the first time I've seen where I guess maybe I overlooked it, but if you are a citizen, they do want your complaints. So go ahead and get them in there, please, friends. That is going to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. You go to How Are We Doing? And you click Professional Responsibility. And you, as a citizen of Sumner County, not all of us who don't live there, but as a citizen, can file they're doing great or misconduct. They don't want it to go unreported. Okay, so report it, Sumner County, please. I want to show you the tip line real quick. Make sure you're with me. Okay, good. You're still there. So then you go here, you submit the tip if you're interested. Okay. I don't know the turnaround time. I don't know. I mean, I can be honest with you. If I can't get a hold of them when I'm trying to during an emergency, I don't have much faith in a tip line that goes to a website. Our buses have cameras. Why weren't they driving in a car? I don't know. That's weird. We're going to have to talk about that. That's weird. But you're freaking me out about the name you threw out there and the goggles, because let's go back to our thing now. Let's go back. So now we have this is really weird. So now we have, let's get this off of there. Let's go here. Not only here, let's just put it over here. We've got Sutherland, Seattle, Spokane, 11 a.m. flights. We have September, October, we'll just put Whidbey for right now. Whidbey Island. Oh, I'm sorry, September and December, excuse me. Okay, now another thing is we've now uncovered someone had on goggles. That also occurred on Stafford Court around the time of the disappearance. Okay, so I'm going to make this all nice. See what we've done today together? Spokane arriving in October if it was him. March, the couple in Seattle, or couple in Sutherland says they're from Seattle. Flights from Spokane come in from Seattle. We've got 2 sightings in December and October, allegedly. He's with a woman in one, or a woman and a man being rolled around like in a wheelchair or something. Goggles being used, which ties us to inside Sebastian's neighborhood. Goggles were being used in a couple of nights. I'm going to have to go back and listen to Bobby as to when that was. This is connecting. Do we have family up here in Whidbey area? That's our next thing. Look at the connections, though. The sightings tie to where family is from. And the fact that I am shocked, absolutely shocked about what you said about one person who might be with it. It looked just like Sebastian's school photos. Wow. Nice to Marie's asking a question. Does the goggles look like spider's eyes with black toboggan, like squishy eyes, like reflector eyes? There's a reason I'm asking. Woven black toboggan flashlight video. Okay. In British Columbia, Lower Mainland, there are many nonprofit societies. If he has new ID, he could possibly be in one of them. Oh, I got one better for you. And we haven't finished. Yeah, I think they're night vision goggles too. And that's really interesting because that ties them right into that neighborhood that going on right when he was missing. Okay, talking about nonprofit societies. You know how, and I'm getting all the stuff ready for the teeing certificate if you want it. I'm giving you two options, one to do it on your own, one to do it with me. So I'm getting all of that ready so we can be better certified knowledge-wise. But they hide behind businesses. Now I want to tell you something we found. Businesses such as, I hate to say it, but I'm going to. I believe you, Caroline. Yeah, this must be scary. Caroline, yeah, call me after. Just give me about 10 minutes getting your thumbnail ready and stuff and using the potty, and then we'll talk. Yeah, extra security, exactly. So it is scary. And look at the area. I mean, look at the area. So now, are they moving him around? It sounds like it, right? If these were all, now, Caroline believes she saw him twice. Sutherland believes she saw KP, CP, and two individuals, which we'll talk to you about. Okay? Someone believes they saw him in October in Spokane, Washington International Airport with a woman. So I enjoy the simple things in life. Thank you for that info. Yes. Yeah, Caroline, please make sure to touch base with Jay so we always have a number to stay in contact. Good idea. Thank you for watching over each other. I appreciate it. Never use your full real name online. Nope. Yeah, they have relatives in the Virginia area. That's another thing. That's what I was going to bring up to you. Bristol, Virginia, where there was a sighting. There is a relative there. Right? North Carolina, where there was that look-alike, remember? Relatives all over there. Okay? So everywhere there's been a sighting, there's a relative, or two, or three, or four. Okay? Yes, there's North Carolina relatives. There's Virginia relatives. We had a Bristol, Virginia sighting. Boom. There's someone right in Bristol. Okay? We have Seattle. There's some in Seattle. We have Oregon. There's some in Oregon. We have now Upper Seattle. There's good. I have a feeling we'll connect that and Spokane. I haven't had time to look into Spokane yet. So it's connecting. Now we have goggles. Well, everyone said, oh, Bobby's crazy. There was no one walking through the neighborhood with goggles. Well, why would she make that up, right? So now here we have another person. I saw allegedly Sebastian with two individuals, and I'm not sure who she's saying one had goggles on. I'm not sure if it was Sebastian or the man, but this is odd. That's how we're connecting things right now. I believe Carolyn 100. I don't believe any of us are going to come out and say something like a sighting or a ransom in this dangerous case if it's not true. Caroline, they tried to discredit us about the ransom too. And I finally said to someone in the comments who's like, "Oh, you guys are ridiculous." And I said, "Well, you just shared with me what kind of person you are, the kind who would ignore a life or death possible situation and chalk it up for yourself not to follow it." That's what I said. I said, "I'm not that way. So if you don't want to hear the updates, move along." That's what I said. This is a truly amazing family. Thank you so much, Doodle Mom. We are going to get out of here. We've done some great work. Tomorrow for our members live, let's continue it. Let's get some things going. Okay, there we go. Then that's who I think was in the neighborhood, Caroline, that night. Then it's starting to connect. Because you do know that some individuals said there were relationships prior to the disappearance right there. So we put a lot together today. Tomorrow, don't miss the members live. Let's put it together even more. If you have time, research Spokane for anyone who might be related to Sebastian. You know the names, the last names, there's many. And also in that Whidbey Island area. There's a naval base. There's lots of connections going on, my friends, in my opinion. The goggles, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You think it was to avoid retina detection? Oh my gosh, Caroline. The more we go through this, it's just crazy, some of the stuff. And see, that's what concerns me, is if we don't have someone like At Night who is taking all those pieces and grabbing them and putting together a big picture, I can't tell you that the others have been doing that. Look at when we just sit for an hour and 10 minutes and do it together, what we came up with. Imagine if there was a powwow in a sheriff's office doing it every day for 3 hours or something, right? I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying, how great would that be if that was really happening? Okay. I know. Detective Whiskers, there were goggles in the neighborhood. The Bobby, the neighbor, talked, and she said someone was walking up past her house on Kellen in the dark with night goggles on. It looked like ski goggles, she thought at first. And now here we're hearing goggles again. I'm telling you, we don't have coincidences like that, my friends. This is wild. Don't miss tomorrow's member live. I will be back on in about an hour and a half for Summer Wells. Do not miss tomorrow's live. We're going to continue with this little study session. Look what we've put together. So if you have time before then, see if you can find anything in Spokane or Whidbey Island, what related to Sebastian. Thank you so much, Sebastian's Army. We are Sebastian Strong. You're a wonderful group. Mods, you do a fabulous job. I appreciate you. Yes, I appreciate you. And, oh, yes, I'm sorry, Jen. I did forget to bring that up. Today is the 5th month passing of Kelsey Benners, Jen's daughter. Please say a prayer for Jen, for her angel girl, and for the entire family who is experiencing such a loss. Kelsey was pivotal to their family. So thank you, Jen, for reminding me. All of you, thank you so much. Oh, he should be working on the flashlight video, right? Stay on it, Nicey. Stay on it. Did anyone drop the link? Carrie Reiner, I will read your comments. I'm sorry, my friend. Let me go back. Jay, I truly think this is going to be worth investigating. Have you all heard of Sasha Stone? Many call it a cult, and they bought land in Tennessee. I have not, Carrie, but I will research it, and we have lots of researchers here too. So I will look at that. I certainly will. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. It's a cult, okay. Also, something we also have to remember is we have the Masons in the areas. Okay, Masons were mentioned in Summer's case. Janine Christie mentions them being involved in Sebastian's case. So we got lots of things that could be playing, but I'm telling you, Google's goggles in the neighborhood he went missing end in a sighting alleged? Not a coincidence. He's traveling with a woman every time. But once there was a man, or twice there was a man sighted with them. Very interesting. You all, let's look up, keep your eyes open. Thank you for all you do, for being Sebastian Strong, for being pleasant in the chat and mods. I appreciate you. I will see you all in a little bit. Keep keeping on. And until next time, which is very soon, talk soon, my friends. And thank you absolutely for being so strong for Sebastian and all the children. Talk soon.